Azorius control versus Captain Awesome. Awesome. Slowish. But I shall keep. And hope that Smite can... keep me alive. That's pretty nice. And now I'm just hanging out here turn, but then I have Sunfall, so sure, that's gonna hit me twice. So is the Sunfall going to be enough? Okay, looking good so up until now. However, now I'm thinking like, do I need to... Perfect. So let's take an Emperor and a Veto or an Eiganjo. I think a Veto. So that was a must play there. However, with haste, the opponent can already prepare the next attack here while I am fully tapped out. Alright, Kumano. Down to 10. Pass the turn here. Keep it. Yeah. Right, this is the turn. Oh, really? No play? Okay. So the opponent can sack the ruins. Let's kill the Mutavault first. Now they're going to go for the ruins, which is absolutely fine and as expected. Yep. Down to 8. Now, do I want to Emperor or Deluge? I'm almost up for the Emperor, to be honest. All right. Create a Samurai. Play a land, put a counter, attack, pass. I have Veto and Get Lost now as my... A Manifold Mouse with Offspring. Sure, I'll probably just use Sunfall then next turn. And I will not activate this, so we're all good here. Opponent can't attack, they're tapped out, so the etchings will not get through the Samurai. I could create a Mirrex token to increase the size of the incubator, but I don't think that's needed. I will just go for a big deluge here. Going for a... Okay, I'm at 6. I mean, you have a board, but I guess once Azorius control casts the 7 mana flashback of the Memory Deluge, you're not in a good spot. Okay, nice. Game 1 victory versus Mono Red. On to the next game. Azorius Control versus Zephyr, Veteran Explorer. Okay, tap 2 tap lands, but 2 smites. Let's see what we're up against. Smite is a little situational. Just slightly so. Okay, this is tapped. This is not tapped. Because if I play the beach after the Field of Ruin. Okay, we are up against that. Unfortunately, I cannot keep up No More Lies here. Let's put a stop at combat. Just in case. Okay. I might think... Yeah. Gonna have to exile one of these smites, to be honest. Now I got the beach, but I want to keep up No More Lies at all costs. I'm quite at risk here. That's fine. And is digging. Okay. They need the Grease Fang or the Oculus. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't do anything here. But I'm gonna do this. Doesn't really matter. But I just want to get lands out of the deck and have more colored mana here. Definitely want to shock here, because I want to have the option of playing the Emperor in case the opponent doesn't do anything. And another preemptive concession there. Now, that march was crucial. Sometimes exiling another card to reduce the cost is, in the early game, it's painful, but sometimes it's necessary to offset the advantage the opponent would have gotten from the Oculus. They would have manifested, which could have hit a Grease Fang or something, or ditched something else into the graveyard. They would have had an additional 2/2. It would have been difficult to get it off the board. So just taking care of that immediately, ditching one of the smites, I think was definitely the right choice there. So yeah, with Grease Fang, what you just made, yeah, as long as they don't have a Grease Fang or Oculus in the graveyard, you're not good, but I mean, that's one big criteria. And also getting rid of they are susceptible to just creature removal, right? So if before combat or before end of turn, if you get rid of the Grease Fang or the Oculus, the damage has not been done yet, right? So just some key kind of factors in the matchup versus Esper Grease Fang or just any Grease Fang deck. Okay, but without further ado, on to the next game. Azorius Control versus UPC. Keep, but risky, let's say, to say the least. I will enter it tapped. I could, okay. Shock it. Okay, what are we up? What is this? March or Smite? Well, now I'm going to march the Swifty, because the march doesn't care for if the creature gets pumped or not. And then I can use the Smite later on the Lava Runner. So even if they pump and trigger the prowess, they don't get around the killing or exiling from the march. However, Smite, if they pump, then it might lose, like not be able to kill the creature or exile the creature. Okay, sure. I'm gonna Smite the runner. Yeah. Take the 3, and now I need 1 land. Alright, unfortunately it's tapped, so that's... I'm just gonna have to take a turn not doing anything here, and then either Emperor or Sunfall is gonna come down, depending on if I draw land or not. Sure. What else are you gonna throw at my face? Okay, only 3 damage. Alright, well, it's gonna have to be the Emperor now. Emperor's gonna have to take care of the Nemesis. Does the opponent have a creature for the Kumano? They do. Does this have the trigger? It does. So it has haste and all the good stuff. Okay. But they... Oh no, it doesn't have haste. Ah, it just has the counter. Okay, so not enough. The Emperor here, also, it just directly exiles, so nothing the opponent can do here against this. Unless they give it... Oh, I see, that was a decent play. Oh, and that way I don't get the 2 life either. Okay, yeah, that's always a good one. Okay. So, let's go for the lockdown. Get rid of the Kumano and the Lava Runner. I should have done something with the Emperor first. No, I shouldn't, because I would have created the Samurai, which would die to the lockdown anyway, so no mistakes were made here. Okay, I'm at 9. I can't gain life. The opponent, I don't have cards to play currently. However, I have a Sunfall up my sleeve. The opponent is already reverting to that. Alright, double damage. Should I Narset here? I think I will.
I train every day with thoughtfulness
No
before action.
Oh, the Veto or the Lies? Actually gonna go for the No More Lies. Now the opponent knows about it, which reduces the kind of surprise factor. But okay, yeah, still gonna go for... Oh, I don't know. Did I have to do it that... Would have had a... No, it would have... If that had resolved, it has haste, it would have attacked right away. So no, that was a good choice to counter that. 3 steps ahead, for sure. Play a land, pass the turn. Have up Deluge, have a Sunfall. I think now we are looking not too bad, but the opponent can still throw a lot of things at us. But another victory for Azorius Control. Nice. This version has a little bit slightly better early game, perhaps, due to the Smite and the March, and also the Get Lost, but mainly because of adding a couple of Smites, which just, yeah, like sometimes you just need it on turn 1 or 2. And this deck exiles a lot, which is specifically good against the red decks because their creatures often do things on death. You know, they deal their damage to your face or stuff like that, or they create a... when they die, they create a manifest or create another creature, something like that. So exiling just prevents all of those triggers from happening. Okay, nice. On the other hand, of course, the Smite can be pretty much dead in certain matchups. But that's always the price you pay when adding those 1 mana removal spells in your deck. But okay, on to the next game. Azorius Control versus Kölsch. Kölsch is a beer in Cologne in Germany. Okay, tapped, untapped, tapped. No double white. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, no playable cards, pretty bad land, and a farewell in hand. Which costs 6. So I'm not playing that until turn 6. So the question is, should I mulligan here? Like, indication... Everything indicates to yes, but I'm not really a friend of mulliganing, but I'm gonna try it out for once, for a change. Right. I will put back... Keep. I'll put back a land. The question is which one. I don't have double blue. I'm gonna put back the Field of Ruin. Okay. Okay. Sure, coming down. Alright, so they're Mardu Greasefang, it seems. I'm gonna have to take a couple of hits from the fear of missing out. There's nothing I can do against that. I could also... I'm just gonna play the castle tapped here. I don't really see any urgent reason to have 3 mana untapped, but 4 mana untapped next turn is worth more. Dovin's Veto. Seems good. Fear is not yet at Delirium. Okay, and now is the important turn where I... Yeah, hopefully Deluge. But I also have Get Lost and No More Lies, so I have the ability to do 2 things in this turn. The Overlord. Let's No More Lies that. I still have another counter up my sleeve, so... Let's take another hit here. And then Get Lost, just to be mana effective and also finally get rid of that. And now I'd almost be happy to draw land. Okay, that's also fine. A land, because then I could use the 2 modes here. But just having this available is already good. Yeah, that's exactly what I need to counter. Alright. And the opponent didn't like it. Didn't like the amount of counterspells. So, what's the moral of this game? Yeah, that was a good mulligan. That's something I need to really learn. I hate mulliganing, but sometimes it's just a necessity. When you have a card that you know you're not going to be able to play for the first 6 turns, like No More Farewell, you gotta think, like, is this game even come to turn 6? And in Pioneer, you know, chances are that it isn't. I'm not saying there's no long games in Pioneer, but, you know, just if the opponent is Greasefang, Mono Red, Green, Devotion, you know, there's many decks which just get straight to it and, you know, pressure you immensely. And then the chances are that you'll be able to play that Farewell are so slim that you just might as well consider it not existing in your hand. So you're already at 6, basically. So mulliganing is not even a reduction of cards in hand in that situation. You know, so it's just making the other 6 cards better than what you currently have. That's kind of how I see it sometimes. But let me know how you feel about mulliganing and how you like to... What's your criteria for mulliganing or not? But yeah, on to the next game. Azorius Control versus Hashirai. Crafty Hashirai. Alright, this is fine. I do have the Farewell, but I'm happy with having these two as by early interaction, and I can always ditch the Farewell to one of these if need be. Still, this is a kind of slow hand, but let's see. The opponent seems to be a little bit on the slower side as well. What is this again? This is... Wait. 3 or greater and land cards. Is that like some... That's some combo deck, right? It's... Which one is it? Is it the... Chorus Quant or something like that? That elephant planeswalker? Is that what this is? I just need to keep up 3 steps ahead for the entire game, basically. That means I cannot play Teferi on 5 unless I draw into a... Dovin's Veto. Or I can play it on turn 6, because then I can untap 2 lands and have 3 mana available. Sure. I think it's the Chorus Count deck. So I need to draw into more counter magic. Is there anything I can do here? I can Field of Ruin, but why? They will just grab a plane, so... And I'm happy to draw another land. And that's actually a nice land. That's actually a great... That was a great... Pretty good draw. Let's not say great. Great would have been another 3 steps ahead or Dovin's Veto. But decent in the form, because now I can scry. And No More Lies is fine, actually. And I can also go for another land. Then I can play the Teferi now, can't I? 1, 2, 4, 6. Play Teferi, untap 2 lands. If they counter this, I'm just gonna eat my hand. But now I'm gonna draw into the No More Lies, untap 2 lands, have 3 steps ahead, up, and Teferi on the battlefield. So I think this is absolutely fine. Ah, sure. I'm not going to contest that. Teferi already did its job here, gaining card advantage. Just normalize that. Okay, so now I'm still kind of struggling to find more counter magic, to be honest. Like, honest, do I care about this? No, I don't. Okay, draw cards, yeah. Draw 1 card. So that was like a Beza kind of situation. Just march this away. Yeah. Okay, that was nice too. So I'm still relying entirely on this 1 3 steps ahead that I have. These are nice lands. I have those 2 actually. Discover 5, right? That's gonna discover the Quintoris thingy majiggy, right? So, and then they can you may cast it. So I can still counter that, but then I might as well just directly counter this one, right? So let's counter this one. Okay, gotcha. Got you. Perfect. So, well, this is probably one of the better matchups. The combo deck, especially this one, is I think they're unable to run counter magic and or like discard spells, black discard spells, because they rely every spell to hit the Quintoris Planeswalker. And if there's other spells in the mix, they will disrupt the Discover finding that one. So, all right, just having counter magic up here. But I mean, this is my final counter spell. They could have drawn, you know, if you're playing against Azorius Control, you know, they do have counters, of course. They have 4 No More Lies, like 2 or 3 steps ahead, and a couple or more Dovin's Vetoes. But, you know, they can't always have them in their hand, right? So it's always worth a shot trying. To just play out your threats, even if it's just one threat a turn, gets countered. But if the final one doesn't get countered, you know, you can still win. Unless it's already, if you need to attack with creatures, because I also have all the creature removal in the world. But if it's counter combo deck, then that's a different story. But anyway, on to the final game of today's run with Azorius Control in Pioneer. Azorius Control versus Anitos Cesar the Fervent. Anito Caesar. Yeah, this is okay. How are we gonna play this? Gonna play this one tapped. Right? No, I'm not gonna use this March and exile like the Dovin's Veto or anything. I just have too many lands and not enough spells in order to do that reliably. So we're gonna have to take a hit here. Yeah, they're gonna pump already. And this is gonna hurt. Oh, that's already a lot of damage for turn 2. A little bit too much than I was hoping for, but okay. I'm gonna be able to kill one at a time now. Manifold Mouse. Sure. Yep, here comes Double Strike. Kill this. Alright, Monstrous Rage. Okay, but the opponent's down to 1 card in hand, so I'm at 8. Get Lost is a little unfortunate, though. Because they can use those maps. And also, this thing having Double Strike now is also a problem. Alright, I need to draw one more removal spell here urgently. Yeah, they're doing this. So I need to draw removal or die. Immediate removal or die. Reckless Rage. They don't want Reckless Rages. Okay, yeah, I can understand that. Oh, it's too late. It's too late. It's not enough. Double Strike is just gonna kill me. Double Strike is gonna kill me. I can't activate any mana lands. The Mirrex token can't block, so G to the G. Nope, there's no way I can win it. Just even on the board. So, okay, fair enough. You can't win them all, always. Unfortunately, I don't know how people go 8-0 on tournaments or like 6-0 in like Grand Prix or tournaments. I just never seem to be able to do it. I've done 5 as you can in these runs here, but like winning 6, 7, 8 in a row in a paper tournament, respect to people who can do that. But anyways, still a pretty good run for 1. pretty satisfied. Azorius Control, always one of my favorites to go back to. I love playing Control. I'd love to play Dimir Control, but Azorius is just stronger, especially thanks to the Teferi and the Wandering Emperor. Those are just amazing planeswalkers. The Wandering Emperor still being the only planeswalker that has Flash, which is one of a kind, unique. And Dovin's Veto, 3 steps ahead, you know, great counter spells as well. But okay, without further ado, as usual, thanks for watching, have fun, see you in the arena, and peace.